Oh my god.
Not camera conscious.
Right, and how enough for streaming?
Oh, give me a second.
Yeah.
Oh, it is actually. Oh, my watch is not right. You don't have to whisper.
Troll.
Hey!
Just gonna stir the pot.
Hey. Okay, we live? Good. Right. Hey guys, I'm Martin. I'm the lead designer for Nisco Games, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how we make maps for the Dwarves of Gistenveld, which is our upcoming real-time strategy game. Here with me today is Joseph, who's making sure that nothing breaks, and Dan, who's been kind enough to kind of help out with making some design decisions and with the game. Okay, so so we're in the level editor at the moment, and as you can see, we've got a nice big blank map here. So what we're going to be working from is
Hit the game on there.
Where? Oh, main.
Hey.
Cool. Okay. So we're going to come up with a scenario. Dan, what do you have in mind?
Lots of goblins.
Lots of goblins.
Lots of goblins to fight.
Okay. So what we can do?
We need an area for our dwarves to happen, don't we?
We do. So what we're going to do, let's have a look at the map. So I'm going to let's actually. That is okay. So right here on the left hand side, we can see how many tiles we've selected, and I try to work. So with any spawn area, I'll try to give the dwarves at least 40 tiles to work with on spawn. So let's drag a selection around here. Is it 40? Maybe 45. It's not quite big enough. We'll go 45. All right. So
Can this be our starting area?
This will be our starting area. So basically, what I'm doing here is all these tiles on the board I can interact with and I can select. I can do this by left clicking, and I can drag a path, an area. I can say like hi, and if we want players to walk through a tile that says hi, it's pretty straightforward. So okay, so we're going to theme this map as a underground mine, as the majority of the game is set underground. So what we're going to do is, if I start, so each of the spawn areas, we're going to have another little dwarf clan over here. So that's mine out an area, 45 tiles, looks good. And then we'll place our goblins, let's place them over here. Okay, a little bit over. Okay, so just to give you guys a heads up, this entire engine was built from scratch, and we are using Java to work with. This is all thanks to Perry, our lead programmer, who has built this all himself. It's quite impressive, actually. Right, so we have our 3 starting areas, and what we're going to do now, we want to try and work out what are the objectives for the player in this map.
Well, kill all the bloody goblins, I would say.
Kill all the goblins. All right.
Get us enough treasure and enough goblin scalps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough. Okay. All right. We're going for the kill. What we can do. Okay. Well, let's. Okay. So let's enter brush mode. Let's have some small connections.
Obviously, we wouldn't need to build a straight path. We won't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll make things a little bit more interesting. So we'll give the player a little bit of a path to guide them through the level. So let's say what I might do. I might have it so the mine comes from north to south.
All right.
Then we can have like little branches coming off. So if
will we need to put in the resources ourselves, or will they be randomly generated?
So each of the resources, so if we zoom in, we can see little question marks on each tile.
Oh yeah.
So that means that on that tile at the moment, it'll be randomly generated from. That's a good question actually. So if we go to map and then.
Martin, do us a favour and just turn the volume on the mic up a little bit.
Yep. This one now.
Oh yeah, on the.
There
you go. Cool.
Sweet.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, sorry. So if we go, set map resource distribution, we can see what are the core resources that we're working with for this map. So we're looking at 350 tiles of stone, 45 of iron, 20 of gold, 5 gems, and 50 which would be nothing, and that would just be plain dirt tiles.
Oh right, yeah.
There would just be nothing there. But we will change them later. And that is in accordance to these question marks. So from that selection, they'll just be spread out randomly.
Completely random, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have. Okay. Let's bring that path here. I might do actually. No. Wrong mode. Let's go there. I wonder. Yeah, that is because of that. Okay.
So what sort of things do you usually do? Like have to consider when designing the maps? Then?
So when designing maps, I try and get a general feel of what kind of terrain the player will be faced with. So the theming of the map is very important. With this being a mines map, it will generally kind of the layout for this map will be different from if we were in a mountain zone, an ice cave, or a lava zone, or if it was a map just filled with water when it was in the lake region. And yeah, so I kind of start from there, and then I'll kind of plot out, okay, right, what is the player's goal for this level? Does that fit in with the design that we have at the moment? I might change them up around a little bit to see if that suits the design, and I'll kind of work out the goals for that map, and then any sub goals. So whether the player has any prerequisites to the overarching goal that they need to complete for this map, and yeah, just kind of go from there. Okay. Right, so we have those. Right, so we can join these up. Actually, tell you what, I won't do that yet. Right, let's have a large. I place it. Yeah. So a large one here. Large one here. Let's scour out a little bit more.
So how can we add water or like a stream running through the map, or is that randomly generated as well?
No, so water, we can do that. I might do that in a minute. But basically, we generate water by, if I was to like draw out, say, I don't know, a river here or something. And then if we were to like sink this down a bit, we take this to the bottom level, and if I do Control W, it creates this water tile.
Oh,
so
right.
basically, what that will do, that will fill out everything, or any tile of that set height.
Yeah.
And we can adjust it with what's it? Water height, yeah, with Control, and that will adjust the water height. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for a minute actually. Okay, so what I need to do with these is do. So I try and make these large tiles. I have like in my head, I try and work with a standard for each of the different environments. So we have these small nodes, which are 3x3, and then the large ones, which will be 5x5. So actually, that's in the wrong place. Is it? No, I'll tell you what, I'll just do that as a 4x4. And then right, that 5x5. Nope. What am I doing? So 5x5. That again. 5x5. Yeah, that looks good to me. Cool. Now what we can do, let's add in a few more small nodes along here. I'm going to have that one connect. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to line up these nodes a little bit.
So we can see the mine shaft.
Yeah, so what this will do, is that in line? No, I think that's the one. And then, yeah. So by doing this, because what happens is I always work from the corners.
Oh, right.
So with this one here, I can have, I won't join those two up yet, but with these, if I just connect these like that, or I could do, I'll tell you what, let's do this instead. If we create a path here, another path there. So I'm working from each of the corners. I'm trying to like give it this like mine shaft feel. Again.
So in this one, we're making a sort of a mine shaft type theme.
Yeah.
So how many other type themes do you have then and again?
So we have. So you've got, I think it's 5 different regions.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the mines, you've got the lake, the lava, the mountain. 6, sorry, actually. Yeah, mines, lava, ice, mountains, mushroom, and lava. If I said that.
You said that, yeah.
So that, yeah, there is another one.
Mountains?
Mountains, that is one. Mountains, mushrooms, water, mines, lava, and ice. There you are.
Nice.
Yeah. And they're the different kind of environments that we have. This one being a mines one. So we have some connections already. I might add another. Let's have. How's the play going to be?
Will there be ginger dwarves?
Will there be ginger dwarves? Yeah, there will be. there could well be ginger dwarves. Yeah, so when it comes to making the dwarves, we currently, I think they all have the same hair color at the moment. But they'll be general as well. You'll have dwarves with black hair, ginger hair, blonde hair, maybe even purple hair. Which
I'm down with that. Purple hair, yeah. Purple hair dwarf.
Pretty hipster.
How big are the maps and will they vary in size?
The maps.
We did mention that. You mentioned this was a medium-sized map.
Yes, so this is a medium-sized map. And there are 3 map sizes at the moment. So there's medium, small, and large. I'll leave that one for a moment. So this map size is 120 by 80 tiles. Sorry, excuse me.
And they're all like hexagons, so they're all got. You know, the width is in hexagons, so it's
yes, that's all in hexagons. So it's like.
What was it that? I was just a question generally. What design sort of did you go through to have the hexagon approach to it? You don't really see that normally, do you?
No, it was a decision made by Perry, who I think to allow kind of a more natural movement with the units, because it was either we go with a square grid or a hexagonal grid.
Oh, so they're the directions that the units move in.
So they're the directions that the units move in, and it allows kind of for more kind of angles and facings.
I see. Yeah.
For the units. Let's have. I'll take one. Let's join these two. These two up. Right. So we've got some mine shafts coming on here, and I might break this up a little bit actually, in the sense that there's not much here.
Don't want to make it too easy for the goblins now, do we?
No.
Can they can dig through the walls, can't they? Or
yeah. The goblins can dig. They can dig through. Let's have. We want some water as well, don't we? But don't go too heavy on it.
We'll do some fishing.
We do. We want to do some fishing. Fish is actually a very good resource.
Want our dwarves to fish?
It's one of the easiest resources to come by actually. On this one. So let's have one there, and I think. See, I might connect them up via a cave system, but I might line up with this one. Right. Down here. These two tiles up. Connect these two. So this will make sense when we start adding in the minecart trails, and they'll connect each of the kind of areas.
Can we use the minecart?
Not yet. That is a feature that we are looking into.
Express dwarf travel.
Yeah, no, it'll be something which the player will be able to transport resources to and from. Right, so that's our kind of general layout. What I might do, I might add some cave. A more raggedy approach where it will just be like a system of caves that will connect some of the areas. So I might add something like that. So each of these, so this map will be connected to other maps. So this will be one of many maps that will feature in the. So the game is played via a world map, where the player can click on different levels and access these types of maps. So, excuse me. What we want is a kind of exit route out of this map. So let's.
So have you got a final version of how many levels are in the game?
Yes, I believe. What is our level count at now currently? I think it's many. I think it's like 50 or something.
Oh wow!
Well, the 50 pre-scripted ones, obviously.
Yeah.
There's also a random map generator, so you can also build like the skirmish maps.
Yeah.
That's for the campaign.
So let's do something like that.
So theoretically,
those two areas.
not quite.
Have you included a map maker in the final game?
Yeah, so this map maker. Sorry, Martyn.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
you're right.
Joseph
No,
while I was doing that.
That's cool. Yeah, so there will be a level editor that the player will be able to access and create their own.
So it's just basically the map editor
So
for the player to use.
Basically, yeah. So the player will be using this exact same editor to create their own maps, and we wanted to focus heavily on the modding community because we want players to be able to generate their own resources or their own material for the game. So if the player wants to create a map and share it with their friends, they can do that.
Sorry guys, I'm just gonna
No, you're right.
whack this up.
Right, so we've got a connection here. So what I'm trying to do, so with this here, this kind of allows for so this central point here it acts as a contested part of the map. So you've got units that so if you've got some AI coming up from down here, some AI coming from here and AI coming from the north, you've got this kind of contested area here. So there's 3 different routes out. We could expand this further, and say if we wanted a shaft that came down here like that. And then we can make this little cavey.
So taking all the other maps, the layout's going to be all completely different. This isn't just one you've taken from.
Oh no, this is I'm literally making something off the top of my own head. I'm just kind of just getting with the flow.
But you are obviously focusing on a mixture of straight lines and these quite jaggedy lines.
Yeah, so the straight lines form the connections between so the dwarves have these underground mines, and so these shafts that were made by the dwarves, and these more jaggedy lines where there's natural cave systems that the mines are running through.
So sort of like dwarf made versus natural.
Yeah, basically. So that looks quite good to me. We want something else going up here. I'm not sure what.
Another little reservoir? Or another base? We have 3 bases, are we? Is it 3 bases we're going to have today?
Yeah, so we're going to have. So that'll be the player's base. Oh god, that's going to be the player's base. That'll be where the goblins are, and this will be another dwarf clan. I might have an objective point over here.
Do it, Mike.
But
Do
I'm
it.
Still, I'm trying to work out what we want. Unless you can come up with an idea for how you want this to turn out.
Have you got the tougher enemies in the game? Was it the tell me about trolls or something that was in there?
Trolls, yes. So trolls are going to be a thing.
Can you not have a troll guarding a horde?
We are still working on the troll at the moment. So we
just chuck more goblins in there.
chuck more goblins. We could do.
Chuck more goblins guarding a big hoard of treasure.
Let me work out. So I'll have a path going this way. I might have so the goblin base has 2 connections as opposed to these 2 that only have 1. It gives the goblins more room to move, but equally it means they've got more to defend.
We've got to make it fair.
Yeah. Might put a cave system in there, and I'll just connect those. So that'll do. Okay. So let's have this connect there. I'm going to leave that open. Actually.
So you, as the player, have your own objective, but then do the goblins? Do they interact with the environment on their own?
Yeah. So the goblins will. So they'll dig out their own paths. They'll collect resources. All the goblins are really interested in is creating more units.
Right.
So
if we left them alone, they could essentially just spawn
they'll
everywhere.
They'll just go everywhere. And they will attack both the other AI as well as.
Really?
So yeah.
So you can just see them 2 battling it out, and then you can just think, "Oh, should I intervene, or should I just leave them there?"
Definitely. Definitely.
And then take the spoils afterwards.
Yes. Yeah. Take the spoils afterwards. So I'm just going to do this. Let's try and make this a bit more natural.
Perry's suggesting that if you want to make it a bit more tougher, you could script it so on the start of the level it bumps up the hit points, and so they're a bit tougher to beat up.
Okay. Yeah. No, that is definitely an option. Yeah.
Of course, that does mean you've got to write code to do it.
I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible, so I don't have to. See, this won't work. That's going to have to lead into. Oh god.
Yeah, it's one of the quite nice features about the engine is the fact that all these levels are scriptable in JavaScript. So anything that you can kind of do as a developer, you can also do as a map designer, providing you can code in JavaScript. But you know, it's better than nothing.
That's what we're saying. For the modding community, you can really get involved in it then.
Yeah, and you could add so much using that interface. So you can write custom maps that have lots of extra functionality that isn't in the core game. It'd be really interesting to see how people work with those.
Right, so I'll do that. Right, that's the 1 exit into their base. Okay, we've got a kind of like a call out here. I think these 2 are connected, aren't they? It's one hell of a tunnel. So with these longer tunnels, I'll try and add this like, if I can actually select the tunnels. That'll do. Okay, how's that looking? So we've got a player here. They can come down here. They can actually come all the way to the goblin base via both routes at the moment. We might want to cause some more obstruction in there at some point.
It doesn't mean essentially that the goblins can just walk straight up to where we are.
Basically, yeah, they could do. At the moment, we can change that. I'm trying to think. Cause I'm trying to at the same time I'm trying to make the map feel a little bit more natural as well. So there's a lot more things for the player to explore.
Yeah.
At the moment, it looks a little bit basic. So I might. Right, let's add in some water. So we've got kind of like water area over here.
So what's special about water in a game? Is there anything?
In this game? So water in this acts as an obstruction, mainly for the player. So you can also fish. You can also gather fish from water as well, which acts as a food source for the player. So all dwarves basically they need a food source. They need to keep. So the dwarves have 3 bars. They have a health bar, hunger bar, and a stamina bar. They replenish their stamina bar by sleeping, hunger bar by eating, and also their health by sleeping as well.
Sleeping and eating.
Sleeping
Essential
and
for a
eating.
dwarf life.
Yeah, it is. It is. We just need to kind of implement some like alcoholic beverage in there as well. Dwarves are renowned for that, and it's quite funny to see how that kind of plays into things. So we've got this long stretch here, so I might have it so this bit of water kind of comes through. I'm just trying to break up the map a little bit. At the same time, I don't want to add too much water. I might keep the river to about 2 tiles wide, roughly.
But water isn't an obstruction, as in it's not the be all and end all, because you can build, can't you, on
You can build
on top of the water?
You can build bridges, which actually be a nice obstruction here. So let's add that obstruction.
So how are you controlling the height of those tiles then?
So the way in which I'm controlling the height of these tiles is if I select an area. I'm doing that by using the left mouse button, and if I scroll up, I can raise the tile of the basically raise the tiles. And where you got my mouse here, if you can see on the left hand side this series of blocks.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows you the height at which you're at. So this being the highest, and then as you scroll down, it kind of takes it. Yeah, it's basically the mouse wheel controls the elevation of the tiles.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just going to add a little bit more water here. Let's do this. And okay, see, water won't be the main feature of this map, so I might just add a few like water pools. That'd be nothing.
Little fishing spots.
Little fishing spots for the player. We can do that over here as
I
well.
can put
Actually.
storage next to it and pour their resources.
That's the plan. Does the other dwarf clan, do they utilise water in the same way as well? Can they take resources from the same that you do?
Yes, so they will also be able to gather resources in the same way basically.
Do goblins do the same as well? Do they fish? Well, they're not concerned.
We're still trying
fish.
to work out how the goblins will eventually play out. Looks a bit too straight there to be natural. So let's do that. So goblins will also have like their own resources. We're still working out how exactly they're going to play and what resources they'll interact with. But that is right. So we're walking it here. Water there, and so anything of something up here. So we wanted. Shall we have a second goblin base?
I think we should have a second goblin base.
Second goblin base. Let's do it.
Can never have too many goblins.
Can never have too many goblins.
Unless they've murderized everyone.
That's 45 tiles. 44, 45. Cool. So so this white level here is the ground level which the units will walk on. If anyone's wondering. So this here, that'll be the path leading out. I will adjust that at another point though. Right, let's have.
So that path leading out, is that our exit to this map?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do shortly is I just create another path here. I'm just going to a few like dead ends. So these will be the exits to level, but I can place them down actually. So if I go place scenery navstone.
Alright.
So these navstones, they act as map markers for the world map.
Ah.
On discovering one of these, it will open up a new level for you to travel to.
Oh, right.
And so what the player would then do, if they build a settler cart, they can access the world map, send a unit. Well, you have to have a settler cart in order to settle, to a new map.
Is that Peter?
Is that Peter? So with building a settling cart, you can then basically move your dwarves to another level, and then
Nice.
continue your expansion. The theme of the game is that the dwarves lost their homeland to goblins, and so have been forced underground. So the idea for the player is they have to basically get help from other dwarf clans, build an army, and take the fight back to the goblins and try and take back the homeland.
Reclaim their homeland.
Reclaim their homeland. So we've got these 4 connections here, which is what I wanted for this map. But this will be. Let's this path going down here. Make it a bit wider. So what I'm going to do here. So this will be an obstructed. An obstructed navstone.
So we can't actually see that then.
You won't be able to see that. You'd have to mine through this, but it's implied. So if I hold Alt, you can see what this would look in game.
Yeah.
And these tiles here are slightly lower.
So it can give you a little hint
it's
that
a
something
little
might be
indication
behind
that
it.
there might be something behind here.
Sneaky.
So by finding this navstone, it will you'll be able to go to another map which you wouldn't normally be able to find. So I'm just literally at this point just filling out, just designing some of the case system. Let's show another connection. Yes, another connection. Okay. So at the moment, these guys can only come down one path. There's not a lot here. These guys can only head in one direction. That's not too bad.
Isn't it similar with our starting point?
Yeah, but there's a
little bit more
longer,
straight.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit more of a longer reach for them. It's not too bad though. What I might feel like there's something missing here. I don't know whether to add a little bit more water. Let's add another water pool.
Add another pool.
Add another little.
Not gonna hurt.
Pool here. No, that won't hurt. And then I might add a. So what I'm gonna do. Add a little system here. No, there we are. Add a little system here. So anyone. Oh, did I just need to? I did. You go down. So any unit come across here, because with water you'll be able to see across this divide here. So what I'm gonna do now? I think that will do for the map. Actually, that looks quite good.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
So I'm going to add water to all these blocks. So got water pool here, water pool here, water pool over here. Like that one. But what I might do, I'm going to add another couple more to this region. This is because if the player decides to build any bridges, they could potentially cut off the source of the water. Maybe that shouldn't happen.
So is there any advantage to doing that? I guess you could cut off their fish supply.
Well, it's kind of the way that the water is being drawn. So, for example, if we only put water source tiles here,
yeah,
it wouldn't reach. The water wouldn't cross over here because you've got this bridge in the way.
Ah, right.
So by doing this, it kind of allows. Yeah, we're making sure that we're covering ourselves in the level so that water is spawning where we want it to spawn. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so with that done,
if you didn't put water there, what would happen? It would just be
it would just be a chasm. You just see it as a depression in the ground, like you have it. So right, so let us place. No, let's probably do that. I'm going to add some rocky mountains, or some like not some rocky mountains, but some large rocky areas to the game. So you will see that these are coloured grey this time. These are to indicate that this is a different resource entirely. So on here, if I do this, I can set what resources I want to display on these tiles.
Oh, right.
And I can set like so this here is the chance of this resource spawning here. So because this is a giant stone edifice, we want to set this to 100%. So there's 100% stance of stone spawning here. It will always spawn with values of 11 and 15. So from mining these tiles, you'll get between 11 and 15 stones.
So it's quite high.
Quite high.
But then I take it they are harder to mine.
Yeah. So because these tiles are higher, it will just take longer to mine through
I see. Yeah.
these tiles. And so what I do is I normally use these to break the map up, so to help prevent the player from getting to a certain point in the map too quickly.
So you essentially just use it to block an area off.
Yeah, so
Which is taking twice as longer.
Basically, yeah. So it for them it would make more sense to walk around as opposed to mine through it, which I might do over here actually. Yeah. So that way the goblins that'll be here, they'll be forced down this avenue here. And then I might imply there's something in this direction actually by adding a tunnel there. So I can imply things as well.
So these are those hints in the actual game?
Yeah.
So if you go down this little path.
Yeah, it's kind of indicating that the dwarves started to dig in this direction, but they never finished.
They gave up.
But yeah.
But it does imply that there could be something. If they dig further, there could be something in there.
Definitely.
Ah.
Definitely. Which is kind of what we've got here as well. So there is something over here. Oh, it's implied with. I'm just wondering.
So you have all those loads of little hints within the game.
Yeah. Just wondering why that anywhere else. Yeah, that'd be quite good actually. So that kind of reinforces the point. Actually, there might be something in that direction. Right. Let's create a divide here because we don't want the player to access this area too quickly. So I'll fill these in a minute with their resources.
So is that a way of controlling, obviously, because the players can dig wherever they like, right?
Oh yeah, the players absolutely, like in the game, they can dig absolutely wherever they want to dig. So this just helps to create barriers. Natural barriers. It's not saying to the player that they can't go in this direction, but it's just going to take you longer to do so. And the more players will play this game, they'll realise, oh, hang on, it's taking me longer to dig through this. There's potentially something in this direction. So it can be taken in that way as well.
Perry would like me to remind you to save your work often.
Is he getting worried? Is he?
Yes, to ensure that you don't.
Yeah, I shall.
Now we want to see how quick Mark can make the level again.
Yeah, so let's go save, and we're gonna go across live stream. All right, and that's it's easier that really to save your maps and to load different maps. We just go load map. So I thought there should be something there. Gappy.
What else can we put into there then? So we've got water.
We've got some water.
Stone.
We've got some stone.
Another little pool of resources somewhere. Oh, that's right. There's the.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually. I'll just turn this into like a little kind of cave system like this. Just do that. And then we can add some resources there actually. That's a good shout. Okay. So I'm just going to fill this in with some stone. And let's do the same down here as well. Basically this is just putting up the map really. Yeah, let's put some stone here. Don't want to clog up too much stone, but
it's coming alive quite nicely though.
Yeah. Happy with how it's looking so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add. Cool. I feel like there should be something here. tell you what I'm going to do here actually. I'm going to. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, move them down some. Let's have that. Just a little kind of opening here onto the water. Okay. I think that looks pretty good.
So
Yeah.
you're changing the brush size there, and so
Yeah, so by pressing B on the keyboard, I can select different brush sizes. So I can, if I scroll, I can just kind of select massive areas, and then I can go down to like small areas as well.
okay. So does that help with sort of larger areas, or?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Like if I want a certain shape like this, yeah, I can just basically it just helps with selecting, especially with a mind map. I can. If I was to do all this individually, so where I just literally clicked, right, I want a opening there, opening there, opening there. That's much easier for me to do that than obviously having to physically draw it around by hand. Cool. All right, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to set all the resources. So by doing this, I'm just literally hitting Shift and then selecting each of these blocks. It's a little bit laggy because rendering quite a few times. So that did I not select that probably? There we go. Right, set to 100% stone. Those values. There we are. Okay. So next is we want to decide where we want the gold, iron, and gems to appear.
Oh.
So gems will be quite rare anyway. But because we've got this little bit here, I might have it so this area here is contested for gems. So what I'm going to do...
So take we will make it quite hard for them to be found.
Yeah, but because we've got like this other dwarf clan here, I might have it so they've found this pocket already. So they're the first ones here, and they're already in the midst of mining it out.
A bit of context then.
A little bit, yeah. So when it comes to gems, gold, and iron, I normally set it to have a 40% chance of those items spawning there, which has increased, and those values will remain the same. And what we can see is that this has a blue outline as opposed to this which has a white outline.
Okay.
So that kind of corresponds like, okay, this is different from...
Were you able to see visibly in the actual game when you start the map, or will you have to just dig on the tile and just pray that you find a gem?
Basically, yeah. So you would explore. So the whole point was that you would send your unit out exploring.
Yeah.
To see if you can find any resources naturally along here, or you can dig. Just hope that you'll come across any gems or iron or something.
But if you find one gem, there's a chance that there's a pocket like you've done here.
Oh,
that will have more.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you have to just hunt, dig up the entire map to find a gem.
Right, so that's 40.
But then these are the resources in the game to make. What was it? More units and.
Yeah, so the players will be able to collect these resources in order to. So they'll be used for like researching technology, building defences, creating units, that kind of thing. So basically, so that's just gives you an idea. We've got 3 different varieties there. So yellow is gold, red or orange is iron.
Where it says hover over the gem cluster.
Hover over the gem cluster with Alt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I hold Alt on the keyboard, you can see the chance of those. So with that 40%.
Oh, so it does give you like a visual inkling of
what to expect.
There'd be gems here. You can see that there are gems, but obviously you have to explore to find them first.
Yeah, I get that now. Yeah.
And the same will be true for the gold as well.
Also, they're like gold tiles, and then there's was that the iron?
Iron, yeah, that's it.
It's like the orange tile, brown orange. But do these? I take it once these resources are gone, then they're gone. So you have to kind of find them first before the others.
So like some other RTS games, Age of Empires being one example, is once these resources are mined and taken, that's it. That's it. Yeah. So
you have to make sure you get to it first.
Yes, indeed.
But then I guess you can steal from the others. From the other clans who have mined it already. So you just essentially you wait for them to mine it, so you don't have to mine it yourself.
Definitely, if you want to go on the warpath and be like totally aggro, then you could just
go on a sneaky route.
See, they've got this little bit here. I might just add some gold over here. I might do a few veins just to speed things up a bit. But if I turn that to gold. Right, so another mode another thing that I can do is I can just draw like a big one like this.
Yeah.
Do Control V, and that will create a vein for me.
Oh right.
So a vein selection. If I hit C, it just allows me greater control over kind of this is a hell of a lot quicker than obviously drawing out the end. So I can do that. And as you can see, it's not when I make the selection, it's not including the ground tile. It's only including the
So you can't really dig into the ground to get stuff.
Yeah. So it will just be the tiles surrounding the ground. So that's a nice big iron ore vein there. I might let's do another one. Actually, because that won't. Let's do that one here. And then let's have a gold vein. Over here.
So obviously you've got these different resources. What are they used for in the game? What kind of things do you use each of them for?
So iron will be mainly used, or iron and stone will be it's mainly used for defences and buildings. Gold will come into so if you want to research technology, that will cost gold, as well as other resources as well. And gems will be, so every dwarf requires a gem in order to or for you to create a dwarf, it requires a single gem. So that's what gems are for, but they will also be used later on for automated defences and for certain upgrades. So that's fine. I mean, we don't have to go mad with laying out these resource patches because the game will randomly generate them anyway.
Oh, okay. This is just for design purposes.
This is just for design purposes, so where we want the hotspots in the map to be. So by doing this, we've got like a hotspot for like gold and iron here, so that should draw the players and the AI to these locations. That I'm going to leave for the time being, but that looks quite good. So at the moment we have I'm just kind of like getting a feel for the player's path. But with the players spawning there, they can go either one or two routes. They need to go this way or that way. South will take them over here, this way.
Up here or down here?
Yep. So they can,
Yeah.
I can't see your hand.
But yeah, so they can either go up here or down there. Down there will take them straight to the goblins. The player will find out the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But again, this way, there's a lot more for them to explore. So, with that said, let's start adding in some units.
What about the because you've got other resources, haven't you? You haven't just got gems. You've got, like, say, you need to sustain hunger and that. Is that all randomly generated as well?
No. So there's 3 different types of food resources. You've got fish, bunnies, and mushrooms.
Bunnies live underground.
Bunnies they live underground.
They do look very cute though.
So what we want to place. Right, I'm going to start off by placing. Where am I? Constructs platforms. Yep.
I just saw bunny trap there. Is that what you do?
That's what you do. You
lay out a trap and then you wait for a bunny.
You do. That's basically, it's when you see a rabbit.
So these are the spawning points?
These are like the centre of the bases. So when basically when you destroy another player's monument or the AI's monument, that's it basically. So that's how you destroy the clan, is not just wiping out all the units, you have to wipe out the monument. Destroy the monument, yeah.
So
the players can build more than one monument per map. So if the goblins, for example, if they wanted to, so with their monument, so let's go. Where is it?
So those are all the different types of things in the game.
So these are all accessible to the player.
Yeah, all these are accessible to the player, and the player can add their own resources as well.
As I would say, so there's essentially you can fill it around and make your own.
There was a goblin monument, but it's not there anymore. I don't know where it's gone. I could just use it as I'll use the spring.
So what the springs, and what's the difference between the spring and the monument?
So the springs are used to. So basically, if we go to scenery. So these are springs, and units will spawn from these. I think there's a nice location for one actually. So in this map, I'm gonna go 1, 2. There's a third spring. Tell you what, let's contest it up a little bit. So you've got 1, 2. Let's have a spring. Tell you what. Yeah. A spring there. So all the springs are kind of in this general direction. So the player can access them, but they're going to be contested by both this team and this team. Both these goblins, I don't know whether I might make them the same team. I don't know.
So you can make rival goblin clans as well.
The goblins.
Is that just for like the
that'll just
map
be for
editor purposes?
Yeah, map editor purposes. So you've got like one enemy here, one enemy here. I don't know. They probably won't fight each other.
As if they can reach each other.
Yeah,
they're quite far away.
But yeah, from these springs, you can basically spawn your units. Both goblins and dwarves can spawn their units from these springs. Excuse me.
There has to be like some sort of claim to the springs then, before you can
Indeed
spawn units.
So if a goblin was to build one of these over a spring,
yeah,
that would indicate that the goblins own this. And if the player wanted to stop that from happening, they'd have to destroy that spring and put their own flag on top.
Ah, right.
Okay. Right. So let's create some characters. So let's get the player 4 dwarves.
It's our starting lot.
Yeah, this is our starting lot. And every dwarf is they're each given a random name. So and this is generated from a list of names which we put together. So players will always start off with a warrior, a forager, engineer, and a miner.
Are these your classes for the dwarves?
And these are the 4 classes for the game.
Oh, right.
So miners will
self-explanatory.
Yeah, basically they're the ones who are like in charge of digging through.
So are they the only
tiles.
Unit that can mine?
They're the only unit that can mine through tiles.
So we'll have a specific job role, and they have to stick to that role.
So units can actually change their
that's
job
right,
role. That's it. So engineers are responsible for building and constructing defences and buildings.
Oh, right.
And foragers are responsible for gathering food, so fishing, gathering mushrooms, and going after bunnies. They can also
bunnies underground,
and they're also to gather wood as well.
Oh, right. So they are the foragers.
Because it's underground, you collect wood through gathering roots.
Makes sense.
Giant chunky roots. But yeah, and then you got warriors who just do they're the ones who are responsible for doing all the fighting.
They do the fighting.
Yeah.
So you can switch these dwarves at will then. So when you feel like you need more miners, you can just switch them around.
The idea is that we wanted the goblins and the dwarves to play very differently. The goblins won't be able to change their class.
Oh, right.
So when when a goblin unit spawns in, they'll be given a random class.
Oh, right.
Straight from the bat.
Yeah.
Whereas the player will have control over what. So if you need more warriors, you can just send these guys to the monument, and they change themselves into warriors. The flip side to that is that goblins, their units don't cost as much.
Oh, right.
But you might not get the units that you want from that.
So much as get an army of foragers.
You could get an army.
Or the goblin equivalent of a forager.
So we've got our guys over there. So let's make some more doors over there. Yeah.
To make them more warriors, make them disadvantaged.
And these guys will be team 1. So basically, what I'm doing here is that if I double left click, opens up this panel here, and I can edit the names.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, you give them more personality.
I can edit their sprite config file. So at the moment, I'm just going to change them all to team 1 so that we know straight away that these guys are on a different team. And then this guy here. Team 1. And then if we go view teams, if we go go team 1. Let's change these to seafarers.
So what's that then? Is that like a clan?
That's so here are like the different clans. It does change the colour of their outfits. So we can see here, so visually we can see, okay, these guys don't belong to us.
Yeah.
They're a different colour. Okay. So we can leave them like that.
So making them a separate clan, will that automatically attack you? If you got too near them? Or because you're dwarfs, they might be a bit more friendly.
Yeah, it depends on how we script the map. At the moment, different dwarf teams won't attack.
Okay.
But eventually, we'll have it in place so that they can.
Eventually, they
so
will.
you can. So not only can you come across hostile goblin clans, but also hostile dwarves as well.
So you have to be a bit wary then.
Yeah, basically. But that'll kind of play more. You will be able to build alliances with other dwarf clans, which is kind of the point of the game. The idea is that you're trying to unite these different clans together to take down the goblins, as no one clan is strong enough to do so.
Is there an option just to wipe them all out? Be the one clan?
You can if you want. It will take a little bit longer to do.
Yeah. That's a challenge. It's a challenge for players.
That is one option. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add some more scenery arms to the game, because this is a mines map after all.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'll start off with adding support posts. So, because this is a mine, we want to make this feel a little bit more like a mine shaft.
Are these more cosmetic items, or do they actually pose a...
At the moment, they're just cosmetic. These are just cosmetic items, and these are just telling the player you're in a mines region, as opposed to like a lava region.
Yeah. I suppose with lava, you would have actual like lava fields.
You'd have so instead of like having water, they'd just be filled with lava, which units wouldn't survive in.
And is that indispensable to the player? Now, obviously, we're not going to make a lava map now, but from the map editor.
What do you mean?
As in, can you just make like a little lava patch from the map editor?
You would, but the way that it would happen is that it'd be in a similar way in water.
Right.
Where I'm pressing Control W for water, it'd be like Control L or something for.
Oh, so you have to have a lava source same with water.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. So where we got? So we've got posts around here. We want some posts over here as well. Yeah. So I try and stick to a uniform. So where with like these larger, that was the exception. Ignore that one. But with these larger ones, I have 2 posts, because they're kind of, the idea is that they're supporting the roof.
Yeah.
They're supporting the ceiling, and they're like dwarven equivalent of health and safety. But so I'm trying to stay to like a uniform layout. Yeah. So where you've got like they're 3 hexagons away from the wall, and there's 1 hexagon separating them in the middle.
Dwarf engineering.
It's just keeping that same layout, and I think that's all of them. If anyone spots anything that I've missed, please shout out.
Try.
So what we're doing here now is I'm rotating. So basically, with these posts, I'm rotating. I can select different types of posts. And so what I'll do, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I want to do that. And this is the part that takes. So it means that for every single point, I just need to. But straight away, you can kind of see the map developing a taste of its own, and
giving its own character.
It's giving its own character, and the theme is starting to be seen now. So I'm just gonna. No, that's not right. Messed up. So on there. Yeah, it's stuff like this. It just takes a little time.
Not the most interesting thing to watch.
Just placing down posts.
So what was the other one? There was the ice ones. Would you have like ice themed cosmetic like?
Yeah, so we could have ice. Yeah, just like anything to kind of like.
Do the tiles? Do they all change? So they're all like icy tiles.
Yeah, so we you'd see a different. In that case, you'd see change of colour scheme
Yeah.
in the map to kind of represent a more kind of colder, icier level. And we could have different types of tiles. We could, instead of having like dirt tiles, you'd have just sheer tiles made of ice instead.
So any benefits it being ice, or is that just literally like to replace it being?
It would just replace it being dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, we want to, so when the player plays a different level type, they want a they don't, yeah, they want like a different experience.
You should change the tagline to digging holes and building posts.
Yeah, yeah.
I've also noticed from our meetings, you working on some of the ruins maps as well. So what's kind of differences between sort of this sort of cavey sort of mines areas that you have and those ones?
So with like the ruins, so the idea with the ruins is that they are, the ruins was once an ancient dwarven city that's long since been abandoned and it's been lost to time. And so the idea with the ruins is that you have these giant underground cities, which have a very different layout to this. And instead of having these open areas like this, you'd have like these rooms instead, and inside you'd find beds. Excuse me. You could find chests, any kind of like random kind of objects that kind of suggest that there was dwarves living here.
Yeah, those look quite a lot more regular than the sort of more sprawling mines I've seen.
Yeah, they do. One thing that I try to aim when I'm creating levels is that each area is unique in and of itself, and that the player isn't constantly playing the same in the same type of environment, basically. Right, I think that is everything. Yep, that's not post building. Okay.
You mentioned Age of Empires. Was that one of the things you took inspiration from when making this? So like when you're designing your levels?
Yeah, so our tutorial level in particular was we're trying to. I like the way in which the tutorial was done in Age of Empires 2, because it kind of. I mean, I was only 11 years old when I played at the time, and I picked up the controls. Yeah,
it's an old game.
Yeah, I remember like just being. It was just so easy to pick up the controls, and I just seemed to know what I was doing. So what I've got here is I've got some mine tracks. For the purpose of this map, they're not going to mean much. It's just like a cosmetic thing. But what I'm going to do, actually, one thing I might incorporate actually is the smaller start and ends for the right. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. So this all makes sense on that. Right, you go up. So let's have one there. Let's have one over here. So these little nodes I'm making, they're just to signify this is the start and end of these mine tracks. It's where they like the track ends. There's got one there.
All the mining track stations.
Yep. And then I'm missing something over here. Could have one in there actually.
I think that'd be really good if you can make a minecart. Little dwarf train network.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm laying down these mine tracks. I'm not going to go through there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to connect these two up. So let's take these through here. So sometimes it clicks when I don't want it to. Right, so that's one endpoint, that's another endpoint. Let's take, I think that'll be a different network entirely. I'll just have it run from that tile there to this one here. So that'll be quite easy.
So what's the white lines about on the tracks?
These white lines just, they can't signify where these tracks are heading. So if I start doing this, it indicates that these are basically connected.
Ah.
So you haven't got to like rotate them yourself.
No, so it works out what sprite I want to use for placing it on that tile, which is really handy. That's all thanks to Perry actually for all his work on doing these tracks. It's made my life it's made my life a lot easier. Having to do these manually was
It's kept you on track.
Yeah, it has kept me on track.
Oh dear.
No, we do love our puns. We do indeed. Right, I think I might make this a sprawling network, so I can have that track run down over here. We can have it so it cuts off there. We can have it. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's have it. So it runs through here. Like so. And then want it so it ends there. So you'll notice that every time I place down a track, it creates this like end piece. So no matter where I finish building, the track will always end there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's take this around. So again, with these larger ones, I'm trying to stick to a uniform. So where the track is coming around these tiles here, you'll see that with the rest.
Mm.
So we can have that one go down here. Those two won't be connected, but I'll have it so it runs up and around there. So let's do this one next. So these are all the different layers that go into making a level. The scenery items really do make a difference. When I first put these in, the maps just start to look so much better.
Add a lot more character to it.
Yeah. It does really help. So it goes up there as well. Come on, behave. Okay. So that's our network there. We can carry that on. I'll go there. This can finish up here. And then let's have this one go. Come on, there we go.
Perry needs a.
Perry needs a.
Draw a line and make a track button.
Yes. I'll have it so. Yeah, once it goes.
Speaking of which, he's reminding me that you can cablify the walls.
Yes, I will do that.
What's that mean then?
Shortly. So by it makes the wall, it makes the map a little bit more natural,
more cavey.
More cavey. I'll do that. I'll just finish up these tracks first. I'm just going to do a track line that runs. Oh no, from there to there. So that's my next job. So. Lots of clicking.
So when you made your
click.
maps, was there a particular like process that you done? I take it wasn't. I'm guessing not all as random as these ones. Do you follow like a particular like design pattern, or do you take inspiration for anything like?
No, I kind of. So I normally do a lot of experimentation first. I just it's really weird. I just tend to. A lot of it is experimentation. And I just kind of go with. I kind of just get a feel for what I want the map to look like, and then just take it one step at a time, really. So cool. I think that's all the track's done. Right. So that's that done. So I'll show you the cablify. So I think that is more or less every. So if I go map. Load. selection, give fireballs and selection. Okay, so by clicking on that, you can see that it's had an effect on the walls. What it's done is that it's lowered certain tiles.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and it's just made it look a bit more raggedy around the edges, which it just makes it
More
feel
cavey.
a lot more, yeah, a little more cavey. So that's a hell of a lot quicker than me having to go through every single tile go.
Yeah.
One level down.
I think the posts was enough.
Yeah. But as we can see now, the map's really starting to kind of stand out.
Yeah.
Now, which is really, really nice. If I do Control L, no. What is the key combination? Key combination for the water. I've forgotten. There's a way of rendering the water.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. I can't remember how to do it now. It's not a key combo I use quite often.
Hey, the key combinations I remember are Eclipse ones. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have our 3 claims. We've got 1 claim there, 1 claim there, and 1 claim.
Thanks,
there.
Perry. Alt E.
Oh, E, that's the one. So if I go, I'll save the map first actually. File, save. Invalid directory for maps. Why is that? File, save. Oh, right now it wants me to click it. Live stream, save. There we go. Right, so Alt E. There we go.
Oh.
So we can see how the water will look in the game.
Yeah.
So nice little river down there. Oh, little waterfalls right there. So that's the thing. Right. So goblins. That's what we want.
Let's get those pesky goblins.
Place goblin. Right. Let's have 5 goblins over here. And then let's say 4 over here.
As things have been going on as well, I've seen Martyn come in and go, "It'd be really good if I got this feature. I want this feature, like the brushes, for example. Really, doing this by hand, really annoying. Brush feature next day. No. Brush feature, or rather next week. Brush. so as we're going along and Martyn's developing the maps of the game, it's coming on a bit. The editor. So
it's quite nice to. Now, I won't because I'm not going to bore everybody by doing this. But with these rock formations, I would just make them a little bit more natural by.
This is your OCD kicking in.
This is my OCD kicking in. But I would just lower certain tiles around these rock formations.
Yeah.
So it can make it a little bit more natural as opposed to like these giant towering rocks. But I won't do that for now. So pretty sure. Yeah. Interesting. So from this, do we want any more obstructions for the player? So there's an obstruction to the map over here. There's a lot of contested areas right there in the centre.
I was looking for our starting bit.
Yeah.
There's practically none, isn't there? We've kind of got free reign.
So do we want to? I'm wondering if we create an obstruction over here, it stops the goblins from reaching us straight
Going
away,
all the way straight up.
and vice versa. So it will help push the player over here.
Yeah.
So let's do that. But then we've got this here. So I'm wondering whether.
So someone's asking, how long does it take you to make every map? Does it take this long to make every map?
Yeah, it takes me a good few hours to make a map. I mean, we started this at 8 o'clock. It's now 9:15, and we've almost finished actually. Designing the kind of how we want the map to look. Our next step will then be to script the map, so placing in events. And kind of making it a bit more gaming, a little bit more playable. We could play the game like this, but it would literally be like the player would just spawn in.
Because we know where everything is.
It would just be like a kind of like a sandbox.
Yeah.
Feel, but yeah.
Well, when the player gets pushed into the map, all the fog of war's done for them, so they have to find everything.
Oh, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete a few of these tracks because I'm going to. So let's create an obstruction there. So what I'm doing here is I'm obstructing this spring here, and so for both the player and the goblins, this spring isn't accessible straight away, and it kind of pushes them over here. Which is what we want. I think that's everything because we have this obstruction here with the water, so they have to build a bridge in order to get across there, and that kind of cuts them over in half actually. So it stops both the goblins and the player. well, these goblins have got free access over here, but it stops. Yeah, that's fine. I think that feels quite nice. It leaves these guys alone for a bit. Okay, I think we are ready. Right, do we want... So at the moment we've got...
We're not missing anything, are we?
No, we're not missing anything. Resources are all in. Just save the game. I'll save... Fine, live stream. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Goals. So let's have a think.
What are we thinking about then? I hear your brain working.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we want. Let's say the player goes over to these guys. They've got to find these guys, and these guys are obstructing the player from discovering this Navstone.
Right.
Okay. By doing that, these guys will allow them access through their base. In fact, let's add in another couple of...
I just realised in that bottom corner, the little map scroll, little parchment there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is the map which the player will see in play mode as well, and that kind of when as the player explores the map, the layout of that map will be slowly revealed to the player.
Right.
So this is what the player will end up seeing in play mode. So I want to make these guys team 1, and you can see that as I'm changing their team, the colour of the outfit is also changing. So let's make these guys some defences. Just give them a couple of balusters.
Best Brighton again.
Yep. Let's do all that.
So do they need to be manned by a dwarf?
These they don't. Instead, they. That's a good point. Actually, I almost forgot. Glad you mentioned that. Triggers.
Also, kind of like traps.
So these are they're kind of activated like so these are kind of traps really.
Ah.
Let's say. Let's get rid of that. Let's have that garden that way, that garden that way. So when we place a pressure plate there and a pressure plate there, if I click, control, click, there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm basically hooking up. That's it. Right. Basically, yeah. So what I'm doing there is I'm just hooking up those balusters to these pressure plates. So when a unit moves over them, those balusters will fire.
Will that kill a dwarf, or is
that a couple of hits would kill a dwarf?
So when that happens, basically you just got to run away.
Yeah. Basically, these things punch pretty hard.
So you're setting these up for the other clan.
These, well, yeah. So these, the way I'm playing this at the moment is that this clan has been here for a little bit, so I might actually expand their base a little bit more.
So does that mean that when you play the game, that you can make them yourself, as in you can set up these little traps just in case anyone comes sniffing around your camp?
Definitely, you can totally set these up. These are totally a buildable thing in the game. If I make a forge there, actually.
Are you helping them out there?
Yep, helping them out. Giving these guys a head start. Let's give them storage as well. Then I'll give them some items. So let's give them.
So are these all the items?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying, right, I want to place a pile of items in the storage area here, and these are all the items that we have in the game at the moment. So there's quite a few.
Quite a few.
So it's
chocolate eggs.
Chocolate eggs. Yeah, we had when we released our first. When we released our first alpha.
Yeah.
It was a closed alpha to the public. And yeah, we because we released it around Easter, we thought it'd be a nice thing to have little chocolate eggs.
We went a bit mad on the puns with that mode as well.
Really? Is there too many now in the final? As in, is that why there's loads of bunnies running around?
No, the bunnies were there.
It was rather excellent.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. It was rather excellent.
Oh dear.
If it's if the Easter event is turned on, the exit button says exit. EGGI.
So you went a bit mad with the puns then?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Totally. So what we need to do here actually is these are currently assigned to the player. We don't want them to be assigned to team 1. Otherwise, those items will appear in the player's inventory.
Free stuff.
Also, there is a shared pool of resources.
There's a shared, yeah, basically. So anything built by team 1 or any storage built by team 1 will appear in team 1.
So you have to remember that when you're making teams, then to
and that
rename
gives us an idea for the forge as well. So team 1. So this stops the player from using this forge. And the same again. So team 1. So things like this will appear as nature. So it's not owned by anybody.
Yeah.
And then this team 1.
Double check the balusters.
Yes, that is a good point. That's a very good point. Thank you, Joseph. Okay. Cool. So they all belong to team 1. I think that's good. That gives them a good head start. They've got a couple more dwarves there. So they've brought some more guys with them. So the way I'm thinking, so the idea I've got for this map then now is this claim won't let you pass until you've gifted them with some resources. In this case, let's say the player has to accumulate, let's say 100 gold.
Right.
Okay, it's quite a bit of gold. But
there's a toll bridge.
We can help. We can help with this.
I want to do a reference, but I don't think I should.
We can help with this. Boy. Platform storage. Let's say that these storages here are controlled by goblins. And that is iron pile. Let's say these have 20 gold in each.
Cheeky goblins.
Cheeky goblins. They're hoarding the gold. So straight away here you've got 40
gold straight off the bat.
40 gold straight off the bat. So straight away that's like a good treasure trove for the player to kind of go for. We can set an objective to go there, so the player will head in that direction.
Would there be any like clues? So for the player to like find, oh, there's gold in this camp, or
so when during the world map you can select a scout level, which kind of give the player kind of heads up of what to expect. So you can walk into a level completely blind and not know what to expect. Right. Or if you scout a level previously, it kind of reveals to you the objectives of what you need to do for that level.
Ah, that's cool. Then.
So let's say these guys. Okay, so they've got the gold. And these guys are here to kind of harass and do whatever they want. So they'll explore, they'll just kind of do their own thing.
They're the hooligans of the map.
They're the hooligans of the map, yeah.
those goblins up there seem a lot more organised.
Yeah. We can. Let's add a few more goblins in, actually. So let's say we've got a couple of goblins lurking around here as well.
Some of the stragglers.
Excuse me. So they're so the goblins have got quite a good area of what they can see. So basically, all these goblins they all belong to the same team.
Oh, okay.
So they will be able, so the goblins down here will be able to see what's going on up here, and vice versa.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
They're all interconnected.
So they're interconnected. Okay. So what I want to do now, I'll save the map, and then I'm going to start doing some scripting. So let's go live stream. Save. Then let's go events. So this is where we do all the event scripting now. So on a new event, let's call it on start. So condition. So on map load. So basically, this will kick in once the player is thrown into this map.
Okay.
Okay. So that will return true. So the action here will be say set objective. Let's call it 1, and
we're speaking to.
Give us come with a name, Dan. Come with a name.
Is this a dwarf?
This will be a
dwarf name.
Yeah.
Barry.
Speak to Barry.
Don't really know many dwarves, apart from Snow White dwarves.
Speak to Barry. Yeah. So basically, what we've done there is that we've defined that this is objective 1. What will appear in the objective screen will be speak to Barry.
Speak to Barry.
Then when you click on the objective, it will be Barry from Clan
White.
From Clan White. No. Yeah, no. Just for the sake of showing everyone what.
Yeah.
How's it? I could go into more depth, but I'm not going to. Barry from Clan White wants to speak.
Quite a whole
to
back law.
We need to head to the camp. Okay. So that straight away. So we're on when we enter this map. Straight away, we're presented with an objective. So if we go save, and then save this again, I should really have saved this in. I'll tell you what, because I know this works. Okay, that's play mode. Set up to each play.
So that little box that came up, what was that? What's the difference between those buttons there?
Which one?
Well, when you just had to continue or.
Oh, so yeah. So sorry if I go back.
You went for it pretty
Oh no,
fast.
I think yeah. So used to. So I don't think it'll do it again. But basically, I can either reset after. I click reset after each play. So what it will do is that it will, when I go into edit mode, it will take me back to the start of the map.
Oh, okay.
If I went to continuous, it would just be a continuous edit of what I'm doing at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. So as you can see, so I've scripted. So these are our objectives. We've got speak to Barry. We click on that. Barry from Clan White wants to us. Speak to us. It should be. We need to head to their camp.
We get the gist.
We get the gist. And then close out. So that is always there for the player to see. The map is not displaying correctly, but that's fine. But yeah. Okay, so go to edit mode.
So those scripts we can, the player can use them.
The player, yeah. So when it
they
comes,
can make up their own objectives completely.
Definitely. So you'll be able to find all this information if you go onto our Wikipedia, fandom page, isn't it? It's our wiki.
Magical wiki.
Yeah.
Technical.
If you go onto our wiki, it will tell you on there how we can script all these events. It gives you a rundown. All the information you need will be on there. Okay, so we've got.
There's a link on the website to it.
And yeah, there's a link to our website as well. So what we want, so the player's going to have to come all the way from here, all the way down here. So let's. Okay, I'll tell you what. So we want to. So I'm just doing this just for quickies.
So this is the type of objectives we can see in the actual game, or are they a little bit more elaborate?
What I'm doing now is I'm basically creating a selection. So basically I'm adding different regions into the game. So this helps with scripting. So it's like these are kind of like trigger events. So when a player enters this region, something will happen.
Ah, I see.
Okay, so we want one there, and then let's call this guy Barry. So
looks like a Barry. I think his actual name was probably better. Barry.
So should the player be able to rename this character when on the player's team? No, because he would never be on the player's team. So we could hover over him, and he's called Barry Flintstone
From Clan White.
From Clan White. Yeah. Okay. So
worst name.
This is the guy that we need to talk to.
All right. So he's his name tag has changed to yellow. Does that mean he's a?
So he's a special. Yeah. He's a special special dwarf. So we can do it again. So selection, region. So let's call this one R2.
Written in very very big friendly fonts. Just
very big friendly fonts. You can quite easily see that.
Yeah.
That's R1. That's R2.
And different colours as well.
And different colours. Yep. So we can clearly see. I think that's all we need because yeah, that's fine. So what we do. So with this region here, if I go to app events, so let's call this one R1. Right. What we need to do. Let's add a variable. We want him. Let's call him. It could be anything. Say warrior 1. So hover over that. So this basically lists all our variables. So we've got one variable at the moment. Excuse me. It's this guy here.
Still that pizza, isn't it?
It's still that pizza. It is repeating on me. It's pretty bad. Excuse me. Oh, my mouth is so dry. It's like, ugh. Okay. So, excuse me. I do apologise.
Malfunctioning, though.
It's not the game, it's me.
Where do we file bug reports against the developers?
Yeah, so we've got this guy here. He's our variable. And if we go back, so we want on enter region this time. So it's when the player walks into this region. So we change that. So we go into here. We want it on. So if R1's been triggered by someone on the player's team, return true.
So something's definitely going to happen when we walk into there.
Something's definitely going to happen when we walk into there. So we want to start a dialogue event by warrior 1. That doesn't need to have quotations. Okay, and then we go add dialogue.
What should he say?
Let's say, you're here. We've been expecting you. Speak to Barry. You'll find him. How do I reference that?
I'll say that's like southeast of our position.
Yeah, you'll find him.
They just go down there.
To
I've been expecting you. That's why we shot you in your face.
That's the thing. If as soon as we enter there, does that mean the ballista's going to go off?
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be an apology first?
So we've got you're here.
This is just for the sake of it, though.
So you're here. We've been expecting you. Speak to Barry. You'll find him to the southeast of here. Okay, and that's that. So that will trigger. So end dialogue.
You're missing a semicolon, by the way.
I was going to say, but I just thought for the sake of it, I didn't want to nitpick.
Oh, there.
Hey, it's my job.
That's cool. Okay. Yep. So that will. So what we'll do when we enter this region, that will trigger. So we want to slow that down a bit. So then the player will come down here. So let's do R2. On enter region again.
You want Barry to say something, don't you?
Yep. So we want add variable. We want Barry.
Does this mean we have to add like a new objective? It's going to tell us to go collect some gold.
Yes. So that's a good point, actually. No, the objective won't change when we enter here, but it will do. Yeah.
When we enter with R2.
Enter here. So on here we want start dialogue event. Being called by Barry. And dialogue. So you finally arrived. We want gold. Owe us.
Owe us?
We
didn't agree to that.
won't let you pass until
I think I found the heavies.
give us. Yeah, well,
These are thug gangster dwarves. These are. Barry suits his name now.
Told you us. We won't let you pass until you give us 100 gold.
I think you should make a new clan now. These are the thug dwarves.
I should redeclare it as being said by Barry, just in case. Okay. And then we could say dialogue. Well, man, that's totally not cool. We'll get you gold, and then this was called the trigger.
Not like we have a choice. After being shot in the face.
Okay, so basically the trigger will be the dwarf that has walked into this region, so he'll be the one that says this.
Right.
Okay, I think that's everything. So let's go end dialogue.
So essentially, there are multiple ways that you can progress to the next map. It's either you fulfill
this, or
his
if
demands,
you really can't be bothered to do that, you
plough through the goblins.
You can just plough through the goblins and go to a different map.
Could you potentially? Could you dig if you had an inkling of where it? Could you just dig down to
that? So yeah. So technically, you would be able to do that. We could add tiles that block the player's path somehow, so they wouldn't be able to get past a certain area.
So I couldn't just dig straight down.
I could literally, or another way, I could just extend these tiles here.
Yeah.
All the way across. So it'd be a pain in the ass for the player to, to get there.
Yeah.
Or I could just script. I could have it so I could script this area so that they follow you and they just won't let you pass.
If you attempt to bypass them, they'll murderize you.
They'll murder you, indeed. So yeah, I think.
As I say, you just walk straight past. I think I'll go this way, thanks.
So let's place a dwarf. Let's place him here. Let's test this out. So let's go file.
This is cannon fodder.
Save. Actually, I think I can't remember how we give these ammo automatically.
I think it's if they're in the inventory. Perry, can you confirm?
Yes, I can't remember if I can just place items, pile items on there. I don't think that works.
No?
I'll try. I can't remember if I get 10 bulbs. Or 9 bulbs, that would do. I don't think that has.
No.
No. I can't remember how it, but it's. I do that on it, yeah. I'll leave it. But if that bowser had bolts inside, it would shoot.
Yeah, it would shoot in the face.
Yeah. So I'm just going to save that. Let's go mode play. So it's up dwarf here. You see him?
Sure thing.
If that, yeah, he would be shot. So we've entered the region. You're here. We've been expecting you. Speak to Barry. You'll find him to the southeast. Okay. So these guys.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, when they spawn, they should have a single bolt inside them.
Okay. He wasn't shot at though.
Sure
So
thing.
shot in the face though. It's good.
Nice. It was good. Nothing.
Aye.
Alright, nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Alright, I've done something on my end.
I think I can probably guess. Is Barry defined in your list of variables?
No.
Oh, no, you.
Wasn't defined here. I did wonder. So let's do that. And another thing I didn't do as well was add objective and complete objective. So complete objective.
Very something. Oh, Shroplet still does that in the current build. It's in the one with a single bullet.
So set objective. Let's say 02. Collect 100. Okay, so let's try that again. File save. Play mode.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Leave them here. Okay. That's
Skip
fine.
quest.
Skip quest.
Aye.
So you'll notice as we walk into this area now, that this box here should tick.
Aye.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So, yep. Finally arrived. Yes. Blah blah blah. It's 100 gold. 1 minute, not cool. We'll get your gold. So I know objective is now complete.
Collect 100 gold.
Okay. So.
If you click on that, what happens? You have a gold thing.
Oh yeah. So if we click that, it comes up. They won't let us pass without the gold.
Ah, right.
Okay. And so it's the same like speed of Barry. Right. So we added this so just in case the player wanted a clearer idea of what they have to do, or if they forget what they do,
Yeah.
they can click that, and we can script it so that it gives them a better description of what they need to do.
Aye.
Boss, you can give them any type of quest, couldn't you? Make up your own.
Yeah.
Collect 200 cat feathers. No.
Cat feathers. Also, like collect 100 bunny pelts.
So what we can do now?
Can goblins have this similar interaction as you do, or are they more or less just like the enemies?
No, yeah, we can do the same with the goblins as well, which isn't a problem. What I'm just going to do, just to wrap up with, because it's getting on a bit now, we just want to wrap this up with, I've got some gold on condition, resource change, we want, so they want any old gold, they want, no, they just want not, because you've got gold and gold ores, we want gold.
Do you use gold ores for boats so you can row about?
Unfortunately, no.
That one wasn't as good.
Unfortunately, no. Right.
Man of many puns.
So this is basically what we're saying here is that if a team player accumulates 100 gold.
Apparently it's gold bars, not gold.
Oh, it's gold bars. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Or very had a heart attack.
The all-seeing eye has spoken.
And then we
Thanks, Barry.
complete. Yeah, cheers. Complete objective. It was 2, wasn't it? And then, okay. And then we could script that so that they then let you pass and they're not hostile, that kind of thing. But
We take away all their bullets. Bolts.
Bullets. Got guns in this one now. They are very gangster, aren't they?
Save that. Okay, so now in theory, I'll just check that, make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. So gold bars 100 return true. Then when complete objective 2. That is the same objective we declared here. It was. Okay. Would you like to try and accumulate 100 gold?
I could try.
You could try.
Well, I feel like for the sake of time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is going to be later. We will.
If you want, you could just show us a quick demo of moving throughout the map. I mean, obviously, because you know roughly where it is as
we know
well.
roughly where it is. Let's. All right, just to as a proof of. Let's give these guys some more gold.
Quick, speed up.
Speed up. So we're after this gold here.
Goblins for gold.
But that is only. Was that? Did you give them 30?
Yeah, I need to add another storage platform. So add that over here. Yeah, place. What am I after? Iron pile. 30. Right, there's more than I've got.
What's the difference between because you've got gold ore and gold bar?
I need more. My maths is wrong.
Is the quantities different? So if you get 1 gold ore, you can then get 5 gold bar.
Yeah, the gold ore gets smelted down to gold bars. I can't remember the exact conversion right now, but you could spend ages just mining the map.
It's mining the map.
Yeah. Right. So to make sure, so that's goblins. That's goblin owned. So one has to be goblin owned. And then this to be goblin owned. Otherwise, the player would start off with that much gold. We don't want that. So let's go file, save.
Right. Would make it fairly easy to solve.
It would.
So I'm going to give us another dwarf. I'll give that 2 dwarves.
I've just received a suggestion to add Warhelm with a dwarf name, and if he dies, he does the Warhelm scream. Here, if you want to do it, Barry.
Alright, let's go to play mode. Right, so
a new line of work.
On a rampage.
At last! What's up? I was getting bored of that job.
So, yeah, you can change your class at the monument. And then let's grab these guys.
The Zerg Rush.
The Zerg Rush. Yep, we're after the gold. We want the gold. Now we've got to find our way to the gold. And that's 12.
Good thing. Aye, thing.
Just like a bunch of old blokes just like grumbling. Oh yeah.
Going.
Should start singing like hi ho or something like that.
So ignore the something like that.
I feel like if you had a working minecart button,
we could get there quicker. We could. That's true.
Aye, thing.
So as you can see, as we're exploring the map,
can you just whack the game sound down a bit before we left everyone?
Which one is it? This one?
The second one's the game sound. Yeah, that's it. There we go.
There's people screaming. Saying,
when we were trying to sort that before, we set it quite high because it was quite low. But
it's a dead end.
Oh, thing.
Okay. I don't know which way.
I might have to dig.
I might if I have to. I'm just stuffed.
Good thing.
This way. See, at this point, I can't even remember the route. We have to take their base.
Going thing. Yes, sir.
Oh, we found a spring.
A spring.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember. Oh dear.
Good thing.
I'm lost.
Also, even though you've explored it, it's kind of like still a bit. You get like a foggy outline, don't you?
Yes,
I
sir.
think we've come too far north. Actually, I think we have to come down south a bit more. So I think it kind of goes around down the bottom there. Let's take these guys down here.
Focus on some questions in chat. It's easier to say and type it.
That's fine.
How we've worked on it. So Perry's done most of the code base, almost entirely from scratch in Java.
Yep.
Martyn's done lots of the maps and some of the game design stuff.
Going.
I'm basically helping Perry fix bugs and looking after the forum. Faye's done all the artwork, most of the artwork.
Ooh, have a goblin. Right, let's go into combat. Yeah, you're going to stand a chance.
Was his name Snobber?
That's a great name.
Snobber.
We're just going to let him
Going.
attack guys, or we're going to gang up on him?
Murder.
Yep. The rest of you just going to stand there.
So what was it? The combat system's based on a.
So the combat. So we're still working on animations at the moment, but it's kind of like it's semi-turn based. So as you can see, like these guys are attacking. He blocked. He's attacking. He missed. They're attacking. They missed. He's attacking. He missed.
And you can see like his life going down.
You see his life going down.
He's not going to start. He's not going to last.
He's done some damage to this guy here.
Yeah.
But he's
done all right.
Is the new combat system? Or...
Not yet, no. So it's based.
Yes,
on...
thing.
Yeah. The new combat system isn't new yet. It will be. Can we come this way? We can.
Sure thing.
Oh, there's a gold.
There it is.
Right, let's fight first.
You're
Understand
going.
Go. Go.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Go.
Hmm?
Kill. Kill.
Hmm?
Right, this will be interesting.
Oh,
Kill.
there's another walker. So if you say if they die now, then that's it, really.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the game? Then basically, if
that's
all your dwarves die,
if all your dwarves die, there's not much else you can do.
they don't know that they're going to stand a chance though.
No, the goblins should fall quite quickly. Plenty of dwarves there. Smashing away. Right now, see kill. Right.
What's up?
Someone getting stabbed in the back.
Yep, he's going to stab him in the back. There. So yeah, it's still as you see, it's still kind of like a little bit rudimentary at the moment, but once we've got the animations in, it will look much better.
Yeah.
There we go. Right.
What's up? All right then.
Your storage.
Aye.
Pick up gold.
The
Going.
voices are funny for these.
Yo,
You on the voices?
going. What's up?
They
Yes,
just
sir.
sound like they're not
Yeah.
bothered.
Aye. Yeah.
It's like yawning.
Huh?
It's like,
Going.
I can't be bothered to do this now.
And put it back.
Going.
Right. I don't think.
Why did you not name the storages?
Why are you picking up stone? They're tidying. Okay.
They're tidying, are they?
They are tidying. Right.
Not only warriors, but they're the
I'm
cleaners.
hoping that if I get him to walk all the way over there.
Did you give them any
Huh?
storage?
Going.
No, but I'm hoping because it's in their infantry.
Sure
I should have
thing.
done. 'Cause that would have proved.
Oh, so you can click on that bottom map to quickly scoop across.
You can, yeah, just click on that. We're getting some lag. Come on, guys. That's it.
What's up? Going.
We've got bars. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's into the place. I'm hoping
sir.
that if I pick up all the gold, it should just register that it's. London.
Going. Going.
But we haven't completed the objective, so we won't see if we have or not.
You gotta go speak to Barry. Yeah,
Go
but
speak
that's
to Barry.
to Barry.
We haven't. Right.
Is that a goblin there? He went back to where he just were.
Where are you looking?
It looked like there was a goblin there. There, look. He's nicked your stone.
He has. He'll be fine.
Nah, that pesky goblin.
He'll be
He'll be
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sure thing.
Here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if it registers. If not,
Going.
then I'm gonna walk all the way back to the storage and put it in storage.
I don't think it will because it's not on water.
No. Okay. So we have a problem. No.
A new line of work. Going.
Okay, we can't actually build. Alright, because we haven't got a miner, can you drop? No, I don't think we can. Right,
At last! I was getting bored of that job.
So you needed to build a storage
But he's
area.
going to put. Yeah, I should have built a storage area. Okay.
If under mode you can put edit continuous, can't you? Edit to reset, don't want that.
No.
Actually, I think it's a toggle, if I remember correctly. So you can toggle it to say, because Per mentioned it earlier, you can toggle the mode. So you can do from continuous to...
Yeah. I can't. I'm not sure if you can do it in play mode though. I think it's only.
Right, okay.
I think unless Perry can save us.
Hurry! Help!
Or you can cheat.
I think I'm for this. I think just for this, I'm just going
Yeah,
to.
that's going to put them all back.
Yeah. Let's go platform storage. Let's go. That should be enough.
This is your advice to players. Remember to build storage.
Yeah. Yeah. Build. Yeah.
Build storage.
Build storage.
Otherwise,
Don't do what I did. Right. Okay.
could have done this at first, though, couldn't you?
Oh, it would have been so much easier.
But then you couldn't...
Right,
Wouldn't
gonna,
have shown off the map.
Yeah.
The whole point of it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to scenery, constructs. Let's give it a stone car. And no place, constructs, forge. Right.
Forge in your head.
That's done. Okay, at this point, we just want to change
Yeah.
you to
A
mine.
new line of work.
Right, actually, let's get you guys. There's gold there, actually. Click. Mine.
What's up? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See if we can find any more gold.
Going.
Then we'll just melt it down.
Well, how much gold do you have at the moment?
Sure thing.
We have 118. It's more than enough.
Yeah, plenty.
Okay.
What's up?
You
Going.
just send one dwarf.
yeah,
to...
it's just. I'm just trying to prove that it is registering. It should.
Going.
Come on. Let's speak to Barry. At this point, you should tick but 2 objectives, I think.
Yes, sir.
What do you set the trigger on the other one?
It's not.
What's the other trigger set as?
The trigger is when there's 100 gold in the player's inventory.
And what's the condition for the event? Live debugging.
That's what it's all about. Right, so you've got objective 2's been set there. Okay, there's collect 100 gold, and then the gold is on resource change. Which is that?
Ah, yes, but you're not changing resource. Not afterwards when the objective is active, because you've already got 100 gold.
Okay. Right.
Solutions.
So how much gold have I got there then? 90.
So if you stick 10 unowned on the ground, they should tidy it?
Yes. You're correct.
Yeah, just let the dwarves do it. Much easier.
I wish I found a whole bunch of gold lying on the ground. It would make it a lot easier.
Actually, I won't put it there. I'm going to put it over there. Not that much. Great. Cool. Play mode. So we've done those guys selected first. We want
Going.
you guys to activate the quest. So obviously this is everything that we need to kind of consider when making a map.
Going.
There's always
It's also quest building.
Yeah, things always tend to go wrong
Going.
anyway. It's how you kind of work through what works, what doesn't. So there we are. Sweet Barry, turns for 100 gold, and then if we go over here,
Sure thing.
here, we just so happen after it finishes. Yep. We
Aye.
just find some random gold on the floor.
Ah, well, what do you know?
Would you look at that? Use
Back
storage
it there.
and place it in. We've
Going.
got
Still says 90.
90. That should.
Huh?
Yeah,
Why?
he said
Going.
it, didn't he? Who?
Is this not working?
Going.
Okay, he's definitely picked up the gold. There are issues. There's definitely issues.
Live bugs.
Live bugs, guys.
Live bugs.
Yeah. But that should be registering. There is obviously this 30, 30, 60, 90.
I think you've confused the dwarves by placing placing gold in the inventory and then putting gold outside their inventory,
Yeah.
and now they're very confused.
Yeah.
They don't know how much gold they have now.
Definitely. But yeah, so that, yeah. So,
make a note, we need to fix that.
but yeah, you guys get the idea. So with this, we can obviously we can create a level like what we have done here.
This is basically an
Already.
entire map.
And yeah, this is an entire playable map. Obviously, it needs stuff tweaking and fixing.
Yeah.
But
You know,
it's there.
that's nothing to an entire working map.
But yeah, so yeah, and obviously with these regions, so the event system is quite powerful. We can create new events and then declare, but there's a bunch of conditions here that we can use. So it's quite flexible in what you can do.
Yeah.
And we'll probably add some more as well if we think of any more situations that we need whilst making levels. But yeah, I hope that's given you guys some kind of insight into what goes on when we make levels and kind of our thought process behind it.
Do you want to show us one that you've done that's got stuff in it that you're particularly proud of? That'd be really good to see.
Yeah. So
This is one I made earlier.
good shout.
Yeah. Blue
I'm just
pieces.
gonna save that actually. File save. So let's load. So nice one is this one here.
Windy Rivers
Windy
is this one
Rivers.
called.
So this will feature in the upcoming alpha release, which will be out in hopefully it'll be out in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Looking at Joseph
if all
concerning
goes
me.
all goes according to plan. No, wrong one. Is it Control M?
It's like a sneak preview then of this.
No, it's Alt E, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Quickly take a screenshot of this so that you can find out where all the resources are.
But yeah, so this is one I've done earlier. So this is quite nice. The idea here is that you have to save these 2 dwarf brothers, and as well as destroy the goblin base. So the idea is that the player starts here. There's a little event that plays out here where these goblins are bullying this guy here.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not
good at all.
Not good at all. You save him, and then he kind of tells you like, "Yep, my base is over here." So you kind of go through here, you mine through here. Only to find that his brother is stranded in this little island over here because the bridge has collapsed. So you have to like build a bridge over here, over there, make your way across, get to their base. They're like, "Well, you know, thanks for saving the guys. We need you to take care of this goblin base because they're like giving us grief." So you have to go over there, destroy these guys, and
beat up some goblins.
It makes and so the idea is that you kind of by completing all the objectives in a map, you make it safe.
Yeah.
For your base, you don't have to worry so much about a goblin attack. But in later on in the game, once the further into production, you'll be able to you'll need to fortify each level that you take because you don't want a goblin horde coming along and.
So essentially, you can be wiped out if you're not careful enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically. So just because you play through this map once doesn't mean that you won't play through it again.
Ah, intelligent goblins.
So,
or
yeah,
sort of.
So yeah, so this is a nice one. So this is a water-based map. So where water is kind of the primary focus. It acts like primary focus for the map.
Try to see what's up in that corner there.
Oh, that's a spider's nest. So it's got some spider webs over here. And
spiders.
So spiders are like they're a neutral enemy, so they will attack both goblins and dwarves.
Little buggers.
If you stray into their territory, so they're an enemy that we've got planned, as well as
many others,
trolls and golems as well.
Look forward to them.
So if we go low map, another last one. So I'll show you a mountain map. So this map, it's kind of with mountain-based maps, you have like these depressions in the map where that just kind of voids where the player can't go. So with this, the entire map is kind of like a mirror almost, where you've got this giant ravine that's cutting the map in half, and so the player is forced to either cross this bridge, this central bridge here, or come around over here. And so it's just like this big brawl map where you've got a lot going on, and you've also got these like voids as well. So this is voids here, and we can turn this into a void. And units can fall in there if you're not careful. So you can set up traps that have like a pushback effect.
Really?
So you can lose units by them just falling into the void. So that's the thing. And you have these little fish, which I forgot to put in the other map. So the other map wasn't entirely complete, but you got fish there, mushrooms and roots, all of which are other resources. It's fine.
On everything.
There's mushrooms there anyway.
Yeah, there's mushrooms there. And if we go low map, so another one. So Ruins is another type of map which I'm working on.
That's one we.
So ruins are basically, so you can see quite dramatically how the different maps, how very different they are based on what region you're in, and
they're much more uniform, aren't they?
Much more uniform. And the idea with these maps is that the corridors are like the main focus. So you got all these rooms, they span off these corridors, and they lead into these larger chambers over here.
Do you still find resources in the same ways, and did you have to dig through the walls?
You still find resources. What we have, we're still working on a lot of the art is still being worked on at the moment.
Yeah.
But what we'll have is that you'll have like these ruined walls that surround each of these rooms. So you'll have these, like, you won't be able to mine through these walls. Or you might be able to, but it might take you
a while.
a while to mine through.
Yeah.
Or unless you've got some explosives, you might be able to blow up these walls.
How long have you been working on the game? Someone's just asked.
Yeah. So we've been working on this game for 2.5 years now. Originally, me and Perry started working on it basically as bedroom developers, and the engine was being built for a year prior before. So we're based at the Culture Games Hub, which we've been based here since January 2016, and we've been supported by the Games Hub. We've met loads of amazing people, and the game has come along massive leaps and bounds since we've been here, and the team has grown exponentially as well. So it's really cool. So this is another top map as well. So we're still working on the different regions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's great though.
Thank you very much. We've still got a long way to go. In the next alpha, you'll be able to play through a scenario, a mini campaign which consists of 7 different scenarios. So you'll be able to play one level after the other, to kind of give you a feel of what the game will actually be like.
We'll be a limited amount though. Can't just blast through the campaign.
Yeah, no, you won't be able to blast through the campaign. The campaign will take you a few good hours to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Each map takes you can spend unlimited amount of time each map.
Well, so if you just prove that you can just create your own.
Yeah. It's there's a lot there for players to sink their teeth into, and because we're aiming for this, we want modders to be able to get behind this as well and create, like, if they want to create beds with different sheets, they can go, or different designs of beds. If they want to create dwarves with 4 arms, they can go ahead and do that. If, sky's the limits really for what you can be able to do. But we want this game to be easily moddable.
Do you want that? Is that a feature upon release?
That'll be a feature upon release. Which will be a little way off yet.
But hopefully not too distant future.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I just want to thank everybody who's attended this stream. I hope this has given you kind of insight into how we make levels.
Where can they find more information?
And you can find more information. So you've got our. So you can sign up to you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can sign up to our mailing list as well on our website, which is niscogames.com. If you sign up to our mailing list, you'll receive updates. You'll receive, because we blog on a weekly basis now. So you'll get updates of how the game is coming on. And you can sign up to get your hands on the closed alpha as well, which will probably be live for about 3 weeks. But we want to release it. We want to release a closed alpha just so we can get people's feedback on the game, how we can improve it, and just kind of just get some general opinion on the game really. So
feedback is key.
Feedback is key. It's so important, especially with a game like this. People think we're mad that we're aiming for an RTS as our first title.
You've done very well, though.
It's a massive challenge, but
made it look easy, man. Designing that map.
Thank you very much. But no, thank you guys for watching us tonight. I hope that's given you a better idea of what we're working on. Like us, follow us, and take care, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Off camera.
That's fine, I'm going to be.